Okay, so let's get back to it. We're going to get on the military done now. So let's complete this barracks area as slowly the armour stands have been built. We've obviously told it it's going to be a barracks. We just want to get the armour stands in place. Doesn't really matter. I mean, you don't need these. We're not going to be putting 10 soldiers in here just yet because, frankly, we don't. Well, we probably do have that many spare. We've got quite a few people now, so around about 43. So don't go too early on the military, and don't go too late either, because it's kind of one of those hard balancing points, and it really varies on your value of your fort. Can really pull a lot into it, and of course what sort of area you're in. As it is, I've not really seen a single thing yet, so I'm not too sure. I can't even remember the area I built. I think it was just tamed. I don't think it was untamed. I'm not too sure what it was, but it wasn't too rough an area. And as it is, we've not had any sign of goblins just yet. But don't be worried. There's plenty of caverns that we need to go down if we don't get goblins attacking instantly. We're going to get some weapon racks out there, and again get a load of coffers out, and a bunch more beds as well. But we'll get the cages as well. So let's build a couple more traps. A couple more cage traps. We've got tons of cage traps there, actually. That's plenty. We don't need any more than that. So what we wanted to do, as promised, was build the military. You can see we've built the barracks. If you haven't already, get your queue, go over to an armour stand and assign it to that barracks. So it's quite a tricky thing to go into. So what you want to do is press M, which is the military screen. So we need to create a squad. Now first of all, you need to have your man in your thoughts, whoever you want to be as your military commander. And if you want to look on Dwarf Thought Therapist, you can go onto the military tab and you can see who exactly is actually good at things. For us, we've got a guy called Ral. Is actually a female. Now females are not great to be military. Well, they are. There's nothing wrong with them, but we don't really want them carrying babies in battle. It can cause problems. Nevertheless, we're going to do it anyway. What the hell? It's Dwarf Fortress. We can go swinging babies in battle. So we're going to create our squad. So as you can see, you've got a couple of options here. Create squad, P, positions, alerts, equip, uniform, supplies, ammunition, and schedule. We can't do anything until we've got our squad in place. So first of all, we need our military commander. Let's create that squad. We're actually going to have it as metal armour. We haven't really got any metal yet, but we're going to go metal armour anyway, and we'll try and beg, scrape and borrow perhaps. Or we could go to leather armour and maybe supply them later on. I'm not too sure how to go about this one. Let's go straight into metal armour. Why not? We haven't actually built any leather. No, let's go leather. Okay. It's a choice that you can make. Obviously, you can have no uniform at all. Archer, metal, or leather. I want to go metal. I really do. So the tin paddles is going to be the name. You can't really pick that. You can keep disbanding and creating squads until you get a name you like if you really want to. But it really doesn't mean a fat lot. So first of all, we need to fill the squad up. You can see it's got 10 positions here. You can just move across these. This is the cursor keys. It goes around the squads. You can see if you've got the whole squad selected, you can do various commands if you've got the others selected. So what we want, we've got a vacant spot at the top here. We need our first man in it. We don't want our main guys, so you really want to pick anyone that's got relevant skills. It does kind of try to tell you the relevant skills in here, but we know for a fact that this guy here, this Thresher, is actually, he's a talented wrestler, and it tells you there he's a talented wrestler. So fine. Brilliant. He'll do. You're our squad commander. We could get others as well. In fact, I will do, because I kind of want to get him a training partner there. So we'll get this Toulon guy. What's he? He's an adequate brewer. That's nothing. He's only level 2. So what's his name? His name is Toulon. He's also if they've come in the recent migration wave, they'll always be on the bottom. So if you go across, these will be your original 7 dwarves, or well, assuming you haven't lost anyone. So if you just go up, it goes to the newest dwarves that are there. And for us, it's going to be this Toulon guy. He's actually a novice mace dwarf, so we'll have him as well. And they do have, you see that guy is actually a competent hammer dwarf. So let's have a quick look at him. I'm tempted to have him in there as well. Where's the hammer dwarf? Oh, there he is. I see. Moses. What is he? He's a High Master cook. No, I kind of want to keep you cooking. Keep on cooking. The cooks have been doing the job. This is probably the guy that's been doing all my food. So there we go. We've got 2 guys. That'll do. That's fine. That's enough for now. We could do with a few more, but not to worry. So we've got our squad now created. We've got our 2 dwarves. We want to give them supplies, so we can press E and you can look at their equipment if you really want to. At the moment we've told them to do metal armor that has a uniform, and as you can see, it's basically he's going to go out and get some metal armor, some metal headgear, some metal legwear, handwear, footwear, a shield, and whatever weapon he chooses. As he's a wrestler, he'll probably go with melee. You can tell them if you want weapons. You can see it across the top here. You can assign the uniforms. You can give them certain weapons. So if we do Shift W, we can pick a weapon of our choice if we so wish. I'm not really that bothered about it. I'm going to let them go with what they like. You can also tell them Shift M what material it's going to be made out of. You can go over clothing, under clothing, what colour you want it. You can even go with, there's various things you can select, etc. But oh, sorry, I didn't mean to press escape there. But yeah, there's all sorts you can have with them if you really so wish. So if we go back to the tin paddles, you can see now we have our squad created. We can assign him a different leader, etc. But what we want to do is we want to set the schedule. You can also, before we skip into the schedule actually, if it's archers, you need to allocate them the ammunition supplies that they had. And you can see that is ammunition, and there's also supplies. So supplies is how much food they'll carry. And you can see they'll carry any drink on them, and they'll carry 2 foods. So these guys, they'll always have a bit of food and drink. So if you tell them to go and attack somewhere, they'll always have food and drink if they're there for a long time. I keep pressing escape, I don't want to do that. If they're archers, they need bolts, they need to fire. So, and that's ammunition. You can see it down the bottom here, F for ammunition. And you can see if it's a hunter, we do have a default hunter, he'll carry with him 100 bolts. At the moment, the tin paddles, they are melee people, so they don't need ammunition. But yeah, if you've got any archers, you'll have them in this list. You need to assign them ammunition. So you can do it with your hunters if you like. You can change the material that they use. You can select any material they like. You can change how many they want on there, so you can see you can change it up and down with the plus and minus key. As it is, we'll just leave them carrying 100 bolts. So that's that. We don't need to worry about the alerts just yet. You can see that will be inactive and the SIF. Actually, well, we can do the alerts. We'll get to that in a second. Now, let's do the schedule. So as you can see, we've pressed S and we're in the schedule from the military screen. If you ever want to know, get in there. You're in, say, the thing. It's M, and then you can see it at the bottom, S, schedule. So what we want them to do is train. However, it's really important to note what it says here. Squad schedules active/training. The default for a squad is to be inactive. So this is where a lot of people fall over, and certainly myself fell over for a long time, and it really took me ages to learn why the hell my military wasn't doing what I saw everybody else is doing in the videos. And this is the problem. We also can have this train 10 minimum. Well, that's great if you've got a full squad and you want them really die-hard training. At the moment we are very early days, so we don't want that. So what we want to do, we want to edit the orders. You see along the bottom here you've got give order, edit order, cancel order, copy order, paste order, copy and paste. Any coding will be very familiar with copy paste. And you can move around with the cursor keys. Tab will go through the different orders, which goes between the two here. And so the schedule grid. You can also see it's the months. Well, they're named under the Dwarf naming scheme. If you've got other squads, they'll be listed along here. You'll have all the other squads listed along. And you can also view the different alerts. So if we do slash, you can see that switched it to squad schedule inactive. So if they're inactive, they actually have no orders at all. They'll just sit there. Well, I kind of like to use that as the training, but for now we'll keep it on the active/training because that's what it's named. So we can actually tab, I believe we can alter this minimum because we want to remove that. So what I've done there is we're on this top bit here, this is the month selecting with the trains. What we're going to do is tab, and that selects this train 10 minimum, and we want to edit that order. So press E, and now that's going to the train command. And what you can see is the plus minus on 10 soldiers. Well, we haven't got 10 soldiers, so we're gonna take that down to I don't know. Let's take it to 2 minimum at the moment. You can set it to whatever you like, and then when you've done, you want to do Shift and Enter. So that will now change that to train to minimum. So if we tab, that's only done it for that one single month. We move down to the next month, it's saying train 10 minimum again. Well, that's great, but we also want to change another thing, because we have sleep in room at will. Well, we don't want them to do that. We want to sleep in the barracks now, because we've set it up. So press S, and it'll say sleep in barracks at will. You can also change it to sleep in barracks at need, so really it'll keep them training for that much longer. But what we're going to do, I'm going to keep it on sleep in barracks at will, so I want to keep them relatively happy dwarves. So I'm going to copy that. You can press C. You can see that's going to copy this, so it's going to be the train to minimum and the sleep in barracks. And then we're going to go down and we're going to paste it. And you can see it's basically copy pasting, just like it would in I don't know, whatever program you'd be copy pasting it. So that's it. So that's set the schedule for them. You can also swap squads, months, etc. There's a few other things you can do that are fiddly in there. Now, why I've set it to train 2 minimum is because we've only actually got 2 units. Sometimes if you're telling it to train 10 and you've only got, I don't know, 3 or 4, they'll be stood around organising and waiting for the other 6 to turn up. Well, you haven't got 6 others. I don't know, it can be funny because it's the 2 minimum. You're training 10 minimum, so it's saying, okay, well, we need 10 people here to train. So they'll stand around and they won't actually train, so it'll infuriate you. You think, why are you not doing anything? Why are you stood around? So that's these are common problems that you can run into, or certainly that I've found so far. I may just be a complete idiot and I've got into these things, so I don't know. We've also got inactive. You can be they're uniformed, and you can change that between whether they switch to their civvy clothes or not. We're going to keep them uniformed at all times, so that's what we're going to do. So press escape, come out of that, and we're back into the military screen. So these guys, we want to set their alerts now because they are still inactive. We want to make them active and training. So press A for alerts, and you can see it here. So this is actually also what we use the Burrows for, and I'll show you that in a second as well. And at the moment, inactive, the civilians, the civ, you can change the civ, and that will change them between different Burrow settings that you have. Well, we haven't set any Burrows yet, because we haven't needed to. And then if you move across with the cursor key, you can see the tin paddles. We want them to be active, so you can see where is it? It's around here somewhere. Shift Enter, there it is. Shift Enter, set squad to alert, retaining orders. So Shift Enter is no, I lied. That's not going to do anything because we don't want to add an alert either. That's not. These are not the droids I'm looking for. We go to A, and this is how you can get immediately muddled up with these things. We want it to be... okay, that's why. Right, okay. Let's remove that one. So let's delete that order, because we don't want that there. Yes, are you sure you want to delete this? Yes, we are quite sure. So what we want to do, we actually want to set that, because when you move your cursor across, you'll see that it actually keeps it highlighted on inactive and active training. That's the confusing part of this. There's another way of doing this, which I'll show you in a second. But you can see inactive, and they are selected as A. But we want them to be on active training, so we go across there, we'll press enter. Now they're active, so we go to inactive, and that's actually set the squad active. Such a stupid way of doing it, it really is. So there's an easier way of doing these things, and you can get confused. Trust me, I just did then, and I've done it a few times. You can also go to the squads, which is S. While you're in this main screen, you can see you're back to the menu, and it's somewhere around here. Squads, S. So we've got the tin paddles. If you want to select them, you can press A, and that will turn them blue, so they'll be highlighted. And you can also see there's actually set the schedule, so you can just press T, which is so much easier. It sets them between schedule, inactive, and active training. You can see now it's switching down the bottom here. Ral has become the military commander, and the other guy will also. And that's it. So now what we need to do, now we have our squad, we have our barracks, we need to tell them where to be training. So let's go back to our barracks, which is this zone here. And now you can see it's got the tin paddles selected, highlighted. Well, we want them to sleep in there, so press Z. I'll put Z here, so now, from now on they'll sleep in there. That it was telling the tin paddles, this is your area of sleeping. We want them to train in there, so press T. We also want them to leave their squad equipment in there. That's fine, which is their armour, etc. And individual equipment. Well, yeah, we're fine with that. We've given them chests and containers so they can leave their individual equipment in there. So pretty much everything. So ZTIQ, they are all set there. That's it. We're done. Escape and done. And that is a squad now set up. We should see the military commander. Here he is. He is our military commander. And hopefully we'll see his partner in crime come up in a moment. I have said 2 minimum, so I think the other guy will come up. If not, I'll tell him to get his ass moving. There he is. I believe that is that him? That's not him. Who are you? He's just bringing his equipment up. Why has this told me? Oh, there's another little caravan arrived. Well, isn't that exciting? We don't care about the elves. The elves really won't trade with us very well, namely for the fact of this. We have a great big wood stockpile, and as you're aware, we've been making bins, beds, the lot out of wood. If you want to really stay thoroughly friendly with elves, then simply don't do that. It's quite hard not to use wood. You need to make beds, but you can trade wood off them, etc. But they'll be really narky with their trade as well. You know, they'll want a lot more than most people. Why is there a bleeding duck in here? Oh, right, yes, of course. So yes, the Mace Dwarf is now in here. So here we go. Press V, we can go over him. There is our militia commander, and there is Toulon, the Mace Dwarf. So he's watching a demonstration, and I guess he's giving the demonstration. He's leading a wrestling demonstration. So now they are actually training. What I didn't do is get rid of our latest inhabitants' animals, and good lord did they bring a lot of animals, which you really need to keep on top of. They've got loads of animals. Good god. I hope I didn't just steal a load of animals off the lead that duck away, and hopefully they'll, now that they're set to the pen and pasture, that a few of them will claim these nest boxes as well. I did see quite a few other things in there, as you can see them slowly lead them to the pen and pasture. That dog looks like he's already found a friend, as it were. Let's have a look at units. We can see, oh, there's a bunch of turkey hen, turkey gobblers, wild animals around there. That'd be nice to capture. Turkeys are always good. The merchants brought a couple of things along, and the dog is in and around there somewhere. So yes, so there we go, and you can see our 2 military people leading a wrestling demonstration and watching leading demonstration. So that is it. That is the barracks set up, and now they are training, and you'll probably see them sparring shortly as well. You'll get a little blue S in the top left hand corner here. What I wanted to do though is also trade with these guys, because I kind of want to get some objects off them, but let's move the goods. Now the problem with these goods is they're in wooden bins. The problem with our crafts, they are all in wooden bins, and look at this. Remember, we've had our crafter on repeat. This is just lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of boxes full of finished goods. So it's actually putting our value probably up quite high. So it's something to be wary of. The value of your trader requested. Trader requested. There we go. So he's requested on the way there. So our wealth is now 143,000. That's gone up considerably, and that is going to attract attention. So really, we do need that army set up pretty quick, smartish. So that's it for barracks. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to go and trade with these guys, and perhaps try and find some chains. Don't go anywhere, guys. This is Deman, and stay tuned for the next episode. I actually forgot the last part of that with the military, so we won't end it quite there. Just as I sat back and thought, done that. So we actually forgot to show you what to do with them. It's all great. We've got the military there now. They're training. They're in position, but they're not doing anything. So press S and select your squad. So that's A. And now I actually forgot to go through what we have here. So we have attack orders. So you could do K. You could tell them to attack the elves that have just come in, if you so desired. Attack the yak cow or something. Attack the elf merchant. You know, you could tell them to go and attack those elf merchants. You can also tell them to move. You can go wherever the hell you like. So, for example, if we were to have archers, We would have fortifications maybe up the top here, and we want them to position there to fire down, rain down death on our enemies. And then obviously you can cancel orders with O, you can see it there. Center on selected squad, well that's just going to zoom to it, you can see that, that's pretty straightforward. If you were to be over here, you'd press Z and it would go to your squad, and you can see it's highlighting the squad, the military commander. View the schedule, well we've already done that. There's his schedule, we know what the schedule's all about. Set the active, which we went through, or you can just select individuals in the squad, and that just goes through the squad. So you go choose the squad, we want individuals in here, there's A and B, and you can select, and I think it's shift, is it to, yeah, shift and A and shift and B to select multiple people. So you could possibly, if you really wanted to, you could say I want you 5 to move over here, I want the other 5 to move over here, and we're in position ready for them to come over this bridge or something. Say if they're over there in position, they come over and then attack them as they come in. You come in from both sides. You can do quite a few things with them. But yeah, I mean, really experiment with it. The hard part often is setting the schedules up, getting them and getting that squad set up. The movement, the attacking with them is pretty much trial and error, but it's pretty simple, that part. That's the easier part of it. So I just wanted to get over that because I'd forgot to do it. You can also set up patrols as well, but we'll do that with Burrows. So I did mention Burrows before, and where are they? They are somewhere around here. Define Burrows, and it is W. So what we do here, you literally paint your area just like you would setting anything else up. So what you want to do is add a burrow, and what we actually want to call this, we want to call it, you can rename that burrow, but for now we want to define where the burrow is. So let's define the burrow. So press enter. So we're on burrow 1, and basically you can now select where you want on the cursor, and just like you would so with, say, a stockpile or a zone, you just want to paint the area. You've got various options here. You can name the burrow. Well, that's great. We can name it. We'll name it, I don't know, Melly, because it's where that's a terrible name for it. Military 1 or something like that. So it'll be basically where our military going to go. So I'll call it military. You can change whatever option you want selected for it, whatever area. You can select the symbols. You can start it as a rectangle. You can remove areas, but what we want to do, we want to paint an area. So we want our military guys, when it all kicks off, we want them here. Simple as that. Nice little area. We want them stood straight behind the cage straps going, bring it on. And that's as simple as that. If you want to remove it, you can you press this R. See it says currently painting. You press R, and then you can currently erase. So you can erase that area again. But for now, we'll paint that area, and that's what we'll use as our military zone. So once that is set up, once you've got your burrow set up, so you can see W, we have that burrow, it is flashing here on this front entrance. Now it's actually set up, you can use it for various things. What we're going to want to use this is for the military. At the moment we probably don't want to use it, but what I'll show you how we would use it. So if we go back to the military again and go to the schedule, and now obviously where we've set this training schedule up, we can now also change this. So we could say if we've got I don't know, a squad of 10 for example, you could have 5 of them training, and maybe you want 5 of them rotating around. You want them defending a burrow. So if you give orders, you can just go, immediately goes to it. You can go through, you can press O, you can select through. You've got patrol route, so you can set up a route if you like. You can tell them to station somewhere, so they'll just stand and guard that area. You can tell them obviously to train, or you can tell them to defend a burrow. Now you can tell certain people, say you want him and him defending the burrow, and then you want, I don't know, while they're doing it, you want X and Y training, and then you stuff like that. So you can really go through quite a few things, and that's as simple as that. You know, they'll go through the month. It's your turn to defend. It's your turn to train. It's your turn to thing. You can kind of set up a schedule, a full-on schedule rotation. So you'd have a couple of them training in here, while a couple of them stand guard out the side there. while a couple more train, etc. And then they'll rotate round the next month, so they'll become the standing guard place and they'll continue to train. And you can also set up patrol routes if you really like to around your zones. There's quite a lot you can do with it. I fully recommend for military, and basically for anything. If you're ever stuck, get on Magma Wiki and... oh, I had a guy go into a fey mood. He's actually begun construction. He was after bone. He was actually drawing pictures of skeleton, and what he needed, as you may have just spotted, I've struck down another water buffalo, which has immediately made him go, ah, that's what I wanted. He ran up and got another big bone, despite the fact I had bones here. Obviously I didn't have the right bone, so I just killed a water buffalo, and now he's begun his whatever construction. He was after rough cut gems and bones. So if you're ever unsure, again, check the Magma Wiki. The Magma Wiki, it's like the Bible of Dwarf Fortress. So it really has everything in there that you could possibly need. So that's pretty much wrapped it up for military. There's quite a lot more that you could cover, but I cannot recommend more. Just simply get over to the Magma Wiki. I've covered the basics. I'll try and carry on with more of a Let's Play style now, and anything you should require, you want tutorials on, I'll still talk through what I'm doing, but we'll as and when we come to it, really. So thanks for listening, guys. This is Deman bringing you Dwarf Fortress.